Hi, I'm Ramona, and welcome to Divine Healing Inspiration again. Today, I wanted to talk to you about discovering your authentic self. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily only a discovery process because there are certain things you are at the core, um, but there's also a creation process involved. Because we're ever evolving, ever changing, our identity and who we are and our authentic self is not a something that is stagnant, that is immovable. Who we are is a sum of a lot of different aspects. First, you are who you are at the core, part of the entire universe. I heard it explained in a way that, I knew I was a wave, but then I discovered I was the ocean, or something to that effect. So you are both a piece and piece of the universe, a unique individual, and you are a part of the greater whole. What you are is innately valuable, innately worthy. You are love. You are light. You are peace. You come from the divine. You're an expression of the divine. And you may have a different thought of this. And maybe you don't have a spiritual bent. And that's okay. That's okay. Uh, so maybe this won't necessarily apply to you. But discovering who you are is also part of your neurobiology and your neurochemistry. All of those things in your neurobiology and your neurochemistry started development in vitro while you were inside your mother's womb. And different experiences that she had and different hormones that were available and the genetic components that were passed down. So you're partially genetics, partially brain development, depending on hormones, in vitro, depending on the experiences your mother was having and the people around her actually affected your development. And then you have your early childhood and how you were raised, your environment, your collection of your experiences. And then there's a part of you that just you like certain things and you enjoy certain things and don't like certain things. And those things that you like and don't like, etc., can change as you get older. And oftentimes we imitate those who are our caregivers. So parts of us become like them. Like you see little kids, they want to vacuum like mommy or daddy, or go to work like mommy or daddy, or whoever was your caretaker. They like to imitate. Uh, that's part of learning. And then they learn from their friends and their peers, and they learn from culture, society, from television. And all of that has a way in developing our personalities. But how each person responds to that and each person learns, it's individual to you. So, although we all have similarities across humanity, we also are very unique individuals. There's no one who thinks exactly like you do, feels exactly like you do, experiences exactly like you do. You are a unique individual. And being your authentic self, and we hear a lot about authenticity, and authenticity means genuine, true, real. And that's who you are at your core, who you choose to be, who you create yourself as being. And the authentic you, sometimes to really discover that is really pulling back the layers of what people expect you to be. What are the expectations that are put upon you? Did your parents expect you to be a doctor? Or did they call you worthless? Or your caregivers? Did you have good role models? You didn't have good role models. Did they encourage you to be your best self, or did they encourage you to be what they wanted you to be, or what they thought was success, or did they live their lives through you? So some of us had great childhoods, and maybe our parents did encourage us to be who we are and not who they wanted us to be necessarily, and they just wanted us to be happy. But not everybody has had that experience. So part of who you are is peeling back the layers of the expectations of others, whether it's of parents, of friends, of society, of culture, of your gender. There may be expectations based on your gender, whether male or female or anywhere in between. We all have masculine and feminine energies. And energy, anyone can have and does have both energies. So if you're in a culture and your culture has shaped you, that's neither bad nor good. That is part of our experiences and part of how we are shaped. But what in your culture actually resonates with who you are? Do you have it just because I'm a part of this culture, so I have to be this religion, I have to like this food, I have to go along with these particular traditions? Part of finding out and discovering who you really are and then creating who you want to be is to identify those things of what truly resonates with you and who you are, what lights you up, what you believe apart from what other people have told you or placed upon you. It's asking yourself those questions. Maybe you do fully resonate with it. Maybe you do want to be that doctor. Maybe you do enjoy the traditions of that religion, or maybe you do resonate with agnosticism or whatever practice. Maybe you do, and that falls in alignment with your culture or falls in alignment with your parents or your friends. But part of it is questioning is, why do I do what I do? Why do I respond the way I respond? What are my core beliefs? What do I really believe? And in order to find out what you really believe, who you really are, is you do have to question those things and question those beliefs. Why do I believe this way? Why do I feel like I have to get married by a certain age, or have children, or not have children, or not get married, or be in a relationship, not be in a relationship, have a certain career, do certain things, have a certain schedule? Why do you feel like you have to? Is it something that benefits you? Or is it something to prove something to someone else? Is it something you do or come in alignment with the beliefs of others in order for yourself to be accepted, to feel worthy, to feel loved? So yet it's not true for you? We all want to be loved, accepted, and all of those different things, and validated. But it's most important that you're true to yourself and validate and accept yourself for who you are. Or else it's a lot of work to keep up appearances for other people and to live our lives according to the truths of others or the truths of society or tradition or religion or any culture, really. Whether it's a sexual identity and there's that culture, and within that culture of your sexual identity, certain people do this, certain people do that. You don't have to be that just because you identify with a certain sexual identity. So it's, who are you apart from these cultural norms and expectations and the norms of your family and their expectations? So it's peeling back those layers. Not only can you be inauthentic by conforming to what you believe are the expectations of others in order to be accepted, validated, approved of, or to, that's the way you think you can get what you want in life. But you can go in the opposite direction of rebelling against expectations in order to claim your own identity. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with conforming or rebelling, really, in its very essence. It's part of the discovery process. But asking yourself those questions. Why am I going against the grain? Is it something you really feel like you need to do? Is it something you like? Is it something lights you up? Is it according to what you believe, what you want to believe, how you want to be in life, how you want to live your life? Is it authentically you in your heart? That's the important thing, not just to go against the other people, even though that might be part of your journey and your path, to do that level of rebellion. Well, they don't like it, so I'm going to do it this way. But maybe actually begin to think, well, I actually do like it that way. So once again, it's a discovery process. It's not right or wrong to conform or to rebel. It's about finding what truly resonates with you and peeling back those layers of what is not really what you want, and it's the creation of someone else, creation of society, culture, religion, etc., whatever is outside of yourself. So another part of who you authentically are is your personality. And your personality is your set of traits and characteristics that tends to be pretty stable within your life. Your personality is believed to be mostly developed by the time you're 7 years old. And you will have tendencies, whether that's to be extroverted or introverted. You may be more intellectual and logical, or more emotional. You may be decisive or indecisive. You may be more concerned with the physical reality and what you can see with your 5 senses, or more in the perceiving reality of more engaged in your intuition and your feeling. There are different maybe you're more of a detail-oriented person, or a big picture person, or more of a creative person. And you can have any level of combinations of all of these traits and characteristics. And also part of your personality, maybe you're compassionate, maybe you love to explore, maybe you like to take risks, maybe you like to play it safe. I mean, there are tendencies within your personality that have been developed. You can work on those, grow those, identify them. Is that, once again, are those true to you? Are you that way because you want to be? Or are you that way because someone else expects you to be? In certain situations, in each, say in our professional life, in our personal life, when we're by ourselves, when we're with friends or different friends, different aspects of who we are might be highlighted and might come out in relation to the other person, because there's a give and take, a back and forth. So just because different aspects of our personality come out in different situations doesn't mean we're not being authentic. We could very well be being authentic. Because maybe at home, you're not going to wear a business suit, but you do at work, because that is part of the expectation. So all, conforming in every sense is not necessarily bad or good. It's just dependent. What is real to you? Who do you really want to be? Who are you? And, your sense of humor varies, so all of these different things. And to learn more about personality, there's a lot of personality assessments online, and you can, discover more about yourself and see how those results are and what in those results, if you actually resonate with it, are there parts of your personality that you would like to develop, uh, different things like that. And also, part of who you are is those traits of yourself that you may not particularly like. I don't know, maybe I bring this one up a lot. Maybe you have a tendency to lie or be dishonest. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you could be in denial of that. But part of being authentic and being your authentic self is not simply cutting off aspects of yourself that you don't like or squelching it or pretending it's not there or being in denial of it. It's in fact looking at it, reflecting on it, seeing it for what it is, accepting it, loving it, having compassion on it. That's actually the way you integrate it into who you are. As we know, perfect honesty at all times is not necessarily the best thing. When I say that, maybe you hate someone's haircut. They haven't asked your opinion. And you just say, oh, I hate your haircut. And it hurts their feelings. I mean, that may be your authentic opinion, but it hurts them for you to say it. So is that really what you want to do? Not care about the feelings of others in order to express your opinions like that? And if they asked you, do you like my haircut? I mean, your true opinion may be no. Say, no, I really didn't like that. I like something else. It's not to say be dishonest, but really to look at those aspects of yourself that you may not like. Maybe you feel like you're lazy. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. According to you, it's true. You feel that way. And you would like to be more of a motivated person. One way to be authentic in that is to look at that part of yourself. Once again, be honest about it, be true. First, you need to acknowledge it. Things you don't acknowledge don't go away. They're just something you have to continuously deal with. Acknowledge it. Love it. Appreciate it. Know that in some way it has served you. What areas aren't you lazy in? What areas are you lazy in? Why is that? It's very much a process of questioning and discovering and creating. As you can see, it's not necessarily a simple process. It's an ongoing process through life to really reflect, to see if we are being our authentic selves. Another thing to discover who you are authentically and to be that and walk in your truth that way is what lights you up, what brings you joy. Those things can definitely lead you down the right path. Does art bring you joy? Does beauty bring you joy? Do interpersonal relationships and friendships bring you joy? Does, a good day's work bring you joy? What brings you joy? What makes you feel happy, interested, excited, passionate? What gives you those good emotions? Emotions are messengers. They're telling you something. When you have good emotions, it's saying, yeah, I like this. This is good. I want you to do this. And if you have emotions that people tend to see as negative, those are also messengers telling you, I don't like this. This doesn't feel good. When those things happen, you need to look at those emotions. They are always valid. And they can lead you in the right direction. But it is to look at them because feelings can be fleeting and ebb and flow. But what really resonates with your soul? Things that bring you joy, peace, abundance, all of those things, or those things that make you feel depleted, hurt, sad, depressed, angry. Those are things that can be listened to as well to bring you to your authentic self and down your authentic path. Because if we don't know who we are authentically, for real, how can we just exude that and live from that place if we don't know, we're not aware? So definitely self-awareness. Once again, it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, who told you you could, who told you you couldn't. That doesn't determine who you are. Who you are is who you are, and you can create yourself or recreate yourself or expand on whatever it is you want to expand on. We are ever growing, we're creating, we're expanding, and always becoming. We're not stagnant. Identity is not stagnant. It doesn't stand still. It's always in the growth and development process. So it is important not to deny, repress, your negative feelings, because it's going to come through. It's going to come up. It's a good thing to look at them and look at what they're trying to tell you. And they can also lead you to your true authenticity, who you want to be, who you are at your core, what resonates with you, what does not. Another thing would be to try new things. Does that interest you? Doesn't it? Take risks, try new things. And it doesn't have to be a big risk. Maybe at some point you want to take a big risk, and that's important. And sometimes we don't jump into those things or try things because we fear failure or disappointment or whatever it is we fear. But try things. If you have an idea, maybe you think you like to work with kids, step into that. Work with that a little bit. How does it feel to you? Or you want to be an artist, do some art, take a class. Or you want to try a new food, go try it. Try different things. That can show you what do you like, what don't you like. You could end up saying, hey, I thought I wouldn't like that and I do. Or I thought, I did like that and I don't. So that's important, to just try new things. Look at your values. What do you value and why do you value it? There are values assessments online, and a lot of it says, what are these, out of all of these words, what are the most important to you? Being hardworking, compassion, detail, openness, creativity, nature, being adventurous, playing it safe. Whatever it is, it helps you to discover what your values are, what's important to you, family-oriented, individualistic, whatever it is. What do you value at your core, and how do you live from what you truly value? And your purpose. Your purpose is ongoing, and your purpose can change and develop. And it's not a destination. Your purpose is the journey. So discovering who you are is definitely a part of your purpose, and creating who you are is a part of your purpose, and trying those different things. And maybe it's time for you to make a commitment to what you know is your purpose. Like a major purpose I had was being a mother. I'm still a mother, but my kids are raised. So I'm still a mother, so I believe that's still part of my purpose. But I'm not a mother in the same way that it used to be. And now I've changed my career path and different things like that. So destiny is not necessarily written in stone. You always have the option to create it, change it, and move in a different direction. Purpose is not stagnant either. In destiny, there may be aspects that, yes, this or that has to happen. I'm not sure. But there's definitely a big part of it which you can create and develop. What's important to you? What lights you on fire? What do you value? What causes? You can be authentic to that, and your purpose and your destiny will come into alignment. Then I want to talk about a little bit about titles and diagnosis. So once again, mother, student, daughter, child. And then diagnosis. When we're coming to mental health, depression, anxiety, borderline, schizophrenic. Those are just snapshots in time. They're titles and they don't have to define you. You can define what they mean for you. And that is not all of who you are. It's a snapshot in time. It's part of what you do. Maybe you are biologically, but it's not necessarily who you are. You are not schizophrenic. You are not cancer. You are not a failure because you failed. You are who you choose to be. And a diagnosis is only a means to find the best treatment, to help someone heal from that or best deal with it. It is not the purpose to define who you are. You decide how you define who you are. And comparison is the last thing I want to talk about. Comparing yourself with others can cause a lot of difficulties because no one is quite like you. No one looks just like you. No one acts just like you. No one talks just. No one has had the exact same experiences. You're wonderful as you are. You are unique. You are special. And I know it's contradictory, just like everybody else. But no one can have what you do. No one has the same gifts, exact talents. And even if you have similar gifts and talents, it's not going to be expressed in the same way. There are certain people who will be attracted to yours, your gifts, your looks, your personality, and certain people that'll be attracted to theirs. They don't have it better, even if it looks like it. Don't compare yourself. Who's better? What's better? And especially when we compare, we take what we believe are their best traits and compare them to our worst traits sometimes, Be the best you. And comparison can really get you stuck in being who you truly are. So I hope some of this helped you and helped you on your path to self-discovery and living your best life. I send you love and blessings. I pray you have a joyful, peaceful, and wonderful day and have a wonderful time discovering your authentic self and living from that place. Thank you. Please like and subscribe and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.